Captain Elena Vasquez had seen her share of oddities during her 15 years of deep space exploration, but nothing had prepared her for what floated before the Terran Hope's viewport. Hundreds of ships drifted in perfect formation, their hulls gleaming despite what appeared to be centuries of abandonment. The fleet stretched across several kilometers of space, each vessel more magnificent than anything human engineering had ever produced. "Sensors are picking up no life signs," reported Lieutenant Chun from his station. "But the ships ... There. Still powered? Energy signatures are unlike anything in our database." Elena leaned forward in her command chair, studying the alien vessels. They were sleek, almost organic in design, with flowing lines that seemed to pulse with bioluminescent patterns. Each ship was roughly the size of a human dreadnought, but their construction suggested technology far beyond Earth's capabilities. "Any response to our hails?" she asked. "None, Captain. It's like they're waiting for something." 3 days of cautious approach had revealed no threats, no signs of life, and no indication of why such an advanced fleet would simply drift in the void. Elena made the decision that would change humanity's understanding of its place in the universe. "Prepare a boarding party. Full environmental suits, and I want every scanner we have." The airlock of the lead vessel opened at their approach, as if recognizing their intent. Elena led her team through corridors that hummed with dormant energy, their boots echoing against floors made of some crystalline material that seemed to absorb and redirect light. The architecture was hauntingly beautiful, with flowing curves and organic shapes that suggested the builders viewed their ships as living entities rather than mere machines. They found the bridge at the ships, heart of circular chamber dominated by a massive holographic display that activated as they entered. Elena's universal translator worked overtime as symbols and text cascaded across the projection, gradually resolving into something approximating English. "By the 7 suns," whispered Dr. Reeves, the expedition's xenorchaeologist. "Captain, you need to see this." The hologram displayed a star map, but not just any map. This showed the galaxy as it existed 5,000 years ago, with hundreds of worlds marked in brilliant blue worlds teeming with civilization. As they watched, the display began to shift forward through time. One by one, the blue markers began turning red, then black, until only a handful remained. "It's a record," Elena breathed. They documented their own extinction, but the display wasn't finished. As the timeline approached the present day, a small yellow marker appeared at the edge of the galaxy Earth. The projection zoomed in, showing humanity's fumbling first steps into space, their clumsy rockets and primitive stations. Then something extraordinary happened. The display began projecting forward, showing potential timelines branching out like the roots of a vast tree dot in every single projection. Humanity survived. More than survived. They thrived. Dr. Reeves was frantically recording everything. "Captain, according to this, every other species they encountered followed the same pattern. Rapid technological advancement, expansion, then collapse within a few thousand years. But humans... we're different somehow." The hologram shifted again, focusing on Earth during humanity's darkest periods. Wars, plagues, environmental collapse moments, when any reasonable civilization would have given up. But in each case, it showed humans doing something unprecedented. They adapted. They endured. They found ways to transform catastrophe into opportunity. "Look at this section." Elena pointed to a segment showing Earth's 21st century. "They're highlighting our response to climate change, resource depletion, and social upheaval. According to their models, we should have collapsed like all the others. Instead, the projection showed humanity's stubborn refusal to accept defeat. They show humans who looked at dying oceans and dead forests and somehow found ways to bring them back to life. They showed people who faced starvation and invented new ways to grow food in hostile environments. They showed a species that treated every disaster as a problem to be solved rather than a fate to be accepted." The final projection made Elena's breath catch. It showed Earth as it was now, but also as it could become. vast cities that existed in harmony with restored ecosystems. Humans spreading not as conquerors but as gardeners, transforming dead worlds into paradises. The timeline extended far into the future, showing humanity not just surviving, but helping other species avoid the pitfalls that had claimed so many civilizations. They weren't just documenting their own extinction, she realized. They were documenting our arrival. Lieutenant Chun's voice crackled through the comm. Captain, you need to return to the ship immediately. We're receiving transmissions from Earth. It seems our discovery here has triggered something. Ships are launching from every human colony. They're saying they can feel it, some kind of awakening. Elena looked one last time at the holographic display. The ancient builders had seen something in humanity that humans themselves were only beginning to understand. They had recognized that while other species grew powerful and proud before their inevitable fall, humans possessed something rarer: the absolute refusal to give up, the ability to find hope in hopelessness, and the strength to transform their darkest moments into their greatest triumphs. As her team prepared to lead the ghost ship, Elena noticed something new in the hologram. The yellow marker representing humanity was beginning to pulse with the same blue light that had once marked the ancient builders' worlds. But this time, the light was spreading, touching other markers across the galaxy worlds that had been dark for millennia. The abandoned fleet hadn't been waiting to die. It had been waiting for humanity to find it, to learn what made them unique, and to understand their role in a universe that desperately needed the one thing humans had in abundance: hope. Back aboard the Terran Hope, Elena looked out at the fleet one last time before giving the order to return to Earth. The ancient ships, bioluminescent patterns were growing brighter, no longer dormant but awakening. Soon, they would teach humanity technologies beyond imagination. But more importantly, they had shown humans what they truly were: not just another species destined for greatness and eventual collapse, but the universe's gardeners, the ones who would ensure that the light of civilization would never fade again. The moment that shaped humanity had arrived, and it looked exactly like hope.